So this is a topic that's been kicking around in the fandom the past couple of days. It has to do with Amazon and their method of how they've been shipping a lot of different Transformers. Long story short, a bunch of my friends, a bunch of different people in different groups in the fandom, Facebook pages, Twitter, everything, they've been sharing images of their received Amazon product of Siege Jetfire, Scorponok, Skylynx, and most importantly, Amazon exclusive stuff in the Prowl Ironhide 2-pack and Amazon Conehead 2-pack of Dirge and Ramjet. And one thing that these all had in common was these were shipped to their door without a box, just the actual box of the product with a Amazon shipping label sticker slapped on it. Now, of course, one could argue one of many different things, that you open up the product and you throw out the box. It's not important. Some might argue that if you actually do care about the box, you could just take a hair dryer to that sticker and hopefully it comes off clean and doesn't damage it. Put a little glue gun on there and you're good to go. But the reality is that a lot of us collectors, we value that our box isn't damaged, that it's in good condition. And when you have stuff where boxes get bounced around in the back of a shipping truck or something, it gets damaged, or worst case scenario, it sits on your doorstep outside your house in the rain or other kind of environmental things. And because it's so pretty looking, it'll, instead of it being a plain brown box, it's a colorful Transformer box. It leads to a passerby seeing it and going, hey, here's something I could steal and I know what I'm getting. The fact is that apparently this is all part of a new initiative that Amazon has been doing. And we actually got literally from the horse's mouth what's going on from a member of the TFW 2005 message board, in that of Goldbolt. And Goldbolt, I appreciate everything that he posted here, because he posted a humongous post. And knowledge is power here on the Transformer Slag podcast. It's all about knowing the facts and the truths here. And I really appreciate this post because this is a huge insight into the future of product. Now, just before we get into it, I just want to speak about, even from my own personal experiences with Amazon. I've bought many times in the past books, figurines, all kinds of stuff. All of them to mostly various success. I know every time I've bought a book, it's always put in a box 3 times the size than it needs to be. By the time the book arrives, the book has been bouncing around so much in there because they don't really put packing to prevent it from moving around. They put I call it butcher's paper, like the old school butcher, how they used to wrap meat in brown paper. They put a little bit of butcher's paper in there and your book shows up damaged in a corner. And, it's bothersome when you buy an expensive art book or something that might be $60 to $100 and it shows up and one side is just smashed because it's been bouncing around like crazy before it got to you. And then you contact Amazon. You go, hey, book's damaged. Could I get another one? And then you have one of two things. Either the book is sold out and then you're pretty much screwed. Or they go, hey, yeah, return it. And this is true story, so I do return it. And to their credit, they give you free shipping labels and you could return it. And you return it and they send you a second one. And because they ship it the exact same way, it shows up damaged in a similar fashion. So you're just in an endless loop of, why did I even buy it from Amazon? Almost gives an excuse to go back to the bookstores in a lot of ways, even though you're saving $10, $15 buying through Amazon with free shipping and everything. But I digress. I've had a lot of hit or miss experience personally with Amazon, but I've yet to get stuff that's been shipped to me straight up in the box of the actual product. And Goldbolt over here goes into deeply why this is happening. Now, his post is huge, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the long short of it. So essentially, Goldbolt here, he's been working in the packaging and industrial industry for both pharmaceuticals and consumer products for over 20 years. And he actually has 3 patents under his own name in those technologies. So this guy's been in that industry and he knows his stuff. And luckily for us, he's also part of the Transformer community. So we get the inside of it. So he understands the frustration that we have, but he's also going to give the logical conclusion of what's going on right now. And essentially, Amazon for the past 2 years has been working on this new kind of system called the SIOC, which is Ships in Own Container Packaging, which is an initiative that essentially Amazon put towards to kind of reduce the use of boxes, tape, mailers, envelopes, all kinds of stuff that they would have to use to ship out product. And essentially what happens is if you don't have to box, package, and everything, you could just take the product and then slap a shipping label on it and put it into logistics and shipping, then you don't have to pay an employee to spend time doing all that other stuff. Again, finding the proper box, even though that's kind of debatable, like I just said. Finding the proper box, putting it in that box, putting the interior shipping stuff to kind of prevent it from moving around. Again, that's kind of dubious. Using the tape, wrapping it up. Yeah, sure, it might take 30 seconds, maybe 15 seconds, maybe less. But the way that I look at it from Amazon's perspective is, they save money per item. And then that really adds up in how many more items get shipped out of the office. And then if my book now, if they just slap a shipping label on my book instead of a humongous box, then they save space in their shipping vans or their shipping trucks. And so more product leaves Amazon, they save money on gas, they save money everywhere. Long answer short. And he even said here, Gold Bolt, they could save between 10 cents and $1 per box per employee every single time. So that's a lot of money that adds up when you think about the millions of packages that leave every single day. That's millions of dollars they'd be saving every single day. So by doing that, hey, yeah, your Skylinks box ends up getting damaged, but they saved $1 million, at least. He goes on to say that, again, this whole initiative, they actually sent it out to all these major toy companies and stuff, and it's exactly why Hasbro started doing these non-windowless boxes. And they said that, like, when they worked out this initiative, and where was it here? He said that the packaging has to be, this is according to Amazon, the SIO program shipping packages for these products have to be a 6-sided rigid box, corrugated cardboard, and has to be free of windows, plastic windows, clear windows, or cutouts. Some small holes, such as hand holes, are okay. Hand holes meaning for like very heavy products, television, stuff like that. That's fine. So essentially, this is something that was put out by Amazon, and Hasbro kind of followed suit with it with certain products. This is something that Hasbro talked about years ago, that they were going to try to reduce plastic costs in their packaging by going more into that boxed kind of environment for all products, something that Takara was doing for many, many years. Obviously, in America, though, the problem with that is, and I've seen this many times, is someone will buy something, they'll switch out the toys and return it, and no one's the wiser. It goes back on the shelf. You buy it, and I hope you then open it right away when you get home, only to see that the product was swapped out. Then, of course, also that leads to the alternative that people could then buy product, take it, and then put in garbage, come back to Toys R Us or Walmart or whatever and say, hey, I bought something and they swapped out the toys. It leads to a lot of headaches. It really, really leads to a lot of headaches and a lot of problems. And this system, I feel that it being implicated by Amazon onto essentially all the retailers and more importantly all the toy companies might lead to more negatives than positives in the long run. It works out for Amazon because no one's going to buy something and try to return it with junk and send it to Amazon. Amazon's going to catch on to that, and you have less of a chance of a swapped toy product when you're buying from Amazon because it's always going to be brand new product, not returned product. That kind of goes through a process and everything. So if anything, by them doing this system, it encourages the toy swapping for the retail market, and Amazon kind of wants to destroy the retail market. So it kind of works out ultimately in the end. That's just my kind of tinfoil hat kind of thought process, but it's something that kind of works hand in hand if you want to get rid of your competitors. Getting back to what Goldbold is saying, though, he said that they've tested these boxes, and the reality is that even though as collectors we value these boxes, 99% of product that leaves Amazon is product that people don't keep packaging. He gave an example of, someone buys a USB stick, a tiny little USB stick that's on a blister pack, and you get it sent to you in the mail from Amazon. It ends up in this huge box, and you open it up and go, man, was that even necessary? And then, of course, you open up the USB stick, you throw away the packaging, and that's it. Toy collectors, we keep our packaging in general. Not all of us, but most of us do. And unfortunately, they don't really see it that way. They see it that, the box has to be able to protect the packaging and the product. And they know that when the customer opens it, they toss away the box. This is the case with 99% of toys that are purchased because they're purchased by kids and adults and stuff like that. Obviously, the market is shifting. Adult collectors like to keep packaging. So there's kind of that imbalance there where, a whole other market is being kind of ignored. But I get it. I get what they're getting at with that totally, because most people throw out stuff. So what's the point of putting a box in a box if the packaging itself was created to protect the product to begin with? Why are we putting a box in a box? So that's where they created that, again, the SIOC, where they're going to create boxes that could be the shipping packaging also. But as I mentioned before, there's flaws in that. And especially even from the Amazon side of it, not even the retail side, but the Amazon side, is stuff gets caught in the rain, stuff gets, becomes a mark. It becomes this mark where it's like, someone could walk by your house and there's that giant Scorponok box and they go, oh, well, I know what I'm going on that. When you have like porch snatchers of packaging, that's a lottery for them. They don't know. They might get garbage, they might get something good, but it's a brown Amazon box on the doorstep that they're stealing. When you have a giant Scorponok in their face, even from 100 feet away, they know what they're taking a risk to go onto your yard to steal because they could see it. Imagine if it's the same thing. Imagine if they applied that same kind of thinking to, let's say, a Nintendo Switch or a PlayStation. It would be a mess. But that's kind of a sad truth that might be happening in the future here. He gives a whole bunch of links and even shows a Amazon. There's like a German Amazon video that shows how the packaging system works, and to kind of just reconfirm how things work there and stuff. And they show, there's interesting because you get some like old Ninja Turtle stuff during the Nickelodeon days. It's an old video, but and shows how it gets packaged. But they're just saying how like this is going to be an issue in the future. And the one that he also pointed out, which he's concerned about as an actual person who deals in boxes and stuff, was he mentions HasLab Unicron, and how when he saw all the updates of it, because he's a backer personally, and how HasLab Unicron is going to ship in, as he quotes here, a brown multi-walled corrugated shipping box with minimal graphics. He feels that thing is going to show up on our doorstep exactly like that. And it even has the handles on the side for the postman or whoever to kind of just lift it and put it on your doorstep. And he feels that most of those boxes, because of how big they are and stuff, are going to show up very much damaged before they get to the customer. And considering that you paid $600 to $1,000 if you're Canadian for Unicron, it's not cool. And the main reason why he also is bothered by that is because the flip side of it was HasLab, when they did the sail barge for Star Wars, they made sure that that humongous sail barge came in a separate box completely that people threw out. People threw out that sail barge, like the outer box, but they didn't get rid of the fancy full color nice box that the actual sail barge came in. So it's going to be interesting what happens in the future, because this is where Hasbro really wants to go with their packaging. And I get a feeling you're going to be buying deluxe Transformers, and they're going to be showing up primarily in their actual just sealed box, and that's it. There's going to be no windows, and at least you look the least from the Amazon side of it. you know you're going to get your product. When you're going to be going to Toys R Us, Walmart, Target, whatever, where toy swapping is an evil entity, you're going to be rolling the dice. And you might not actually, I think we're going to have to pick up our boxes now and give them a shake to make sure that if they're kind of loose in there, it's been swapped. And if it's not loose in there, at least it's okay. But it's just, do we have to live in a world like this? I mean, I understand, like Hasbro said, there's an environmental twist to it, but it sounds like it's more of a money-saving thing. And I've said this in the past, the money-saving doesn't fall into our pockets. It falls onto the company's pockets. They save money, not us. If they save $40, they don't put it towards us. They just take that $40 and they show it to investors and their boardrooms and go, hey, we saved $40. But yeah, this is going to be a bit of an issue in the future, and there has been updated reports that some people have been getting, I believe it was the Seeker Jet, the Amazon Seeker Jet 2-pack, they have been getting it in a special insert box that does protect it, and it says on the outside of the box, like War for Cybertron Earthrise Seeker 2-pack, SIOC. So there is those being rolled out by Hasbro, but it really is a case-to-case basis because most Amazon workers are just going to slap a sticker on it and send it on your way. So what do I suggest? In all honesty, you could either talk to Hasbro and let them know that this is an issue, especially in an increasing adult collector world where they're losing kids every single day. Address it to Hasbro. You could try to address it to Amazon, but that's a multi-billion industry of people who really, again, from books to amiibos to everything, they're going to show up damaged. So just addressing them on one product, I don't know, that when it comes to Amazon, maybe just not buy from them. Maybe just next time when you're thinking of buying something, I understand right now with what's going on in the world in 2020 with the big V, you kind of want to do online shopping, but maybe online shop elsewhere. Maybe go to Walmart, maybe go to Target, maybe go to Toys R Us. Just put your money elsewhere. You put all your money in one place, and if everyone does that, it creates a monopoly, and none of us do well. But that's a whole other rant for a whole other story. But this is what's kind of going on right now. So let me know what you think about this. Have you had issues with Amazon with shipping? I know I have many times, and I'm not a fan of Amazon personally. They've messed me over way too many times. But the point is that let me know what you think about this and the future of Transformer packaging. This is very fascinating. And I kind of worry about the future, when it's going to be coming to retail, when it's going to come to how we're going to have our product. I mean, I'm reminded of many times in the past where I'm buying a deluxe Transformer, and because of how QC is today, you look at it and even the paint applications are sometimes not that great from one to the other. So you have to buy one, and then you have to look at it. Well, you're in the store and you look at it carefully, and you're comparing for the one that has the better paint apps on the face or something. You won't be able to do that when it's in a sealed box. And then when you get home and open it, you better hope that whatever Sideswipe you bought is actually Sideswipe and not a dollar store tractor trailer that was swapped in there or something. True story, actually happened with a bulkhead. Not me, but a friend of mine. It happened to them. But yeah, it's crazy stuff. Anyways, let me know what you think about this. It's another wrinkle in the future of our fandom in this crazy world we live in today.